What is up, everyone? I am Nick the Pond King, and this is our channel, Pond King Water Gardens. We're just trying to show you that water features are fun everywhere. This time we're in the greater northern Minnesota area, and we get to work with Hannah. She's got her own YouTube channel. You're gonna want to check her out, Hannah over there. So right now she's just capturing some drone footage for herself, and we are going to start showing you what we're about to do. We're gonna take apart the pond that was here when she purchased the home, and we'll kind of show you some of the things that we're missing and some of the things we advised on, maybe how we could help you turn it around, make it easier to take care of. And we are gonna tear this old pond apart and do our thing. So yeah, that's pretty fun. We're gonna turn it into a living work of art. And right now the guys are draining it. There's Mr. Justin the Wizard. Brad the handyman. The medic. What you'll notice is there's a lot of rock missing. We've got a lot of our straight edges in there, a lot of exposed liner. So that's one of the things that we try to avoid whenever we can. And then there's no real filtration system. And so we're just gonna tear this all out and do our thing with the aquascape ecosystem. So we've got a lot of boulders in the front yard. We've got our trucks and machinery, and we have a good game plan here. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna tear this out. Stay tuned. Redo the whole pond, and we're going to make sure it has that 5-part recipe, but we're also going to make sure it's a piece of artwork at the same time. So that's what's really fun about what we get to do as a career, is that we get to make living works of art 1 yard at a time. And we're going to help you redo your pond, and we agreed to an 11 by 16 pond, but right now it's a 17 by 13.
I was going to say it looks huge.
Yeah, we really, you have a lot of space here.
Yeah.
And being that you have that space, we got plenty of boulders to work with. I wanted to really maximize how big we could fill this space with that living water. So I really wanted to make sure, like, where you're going to be looking at it from. You said your bedroom is up there. You've got a kitchen table here. You've got an awesome sunroom there. We really want to make sure that all those views from the inside the house are nice looking out at it too. So you notice I kind of dug into your yard a little ways. We're probably going to do a little bit more of that because I'd like to see this be like a step down, and then you're at the grade of where kind of you're interacting with the pond, and then kind of taper back up into the waterfall area. So we're going to have a waterfall coming kind of from underneath that crab tree, making its way towards the pond here. But when we're doing this, we talk about the 5-part recipe, and that's Aquascape coined that, and they're our supplier. So everything we're going to be using is an Aquascape product. We're going to be using their skimmer. And that 5-part recipe works every single time, as long as we get to like do it to scale. All right, the guys are working on finalizing the bottom pier here, so that's going to be 30 inches deep of water. All right, skimmer's in. We've got class 5 on there. We're going to have someone hop in there tomorrow, and then we'll surround it with soil. Got our water line set. We've got a pretty ambitious water line because we're going to have to bring in a lot of soil on that backside. But what that's going to do is it's going to make it so much more enjoyable for her when she's looking out those windows, really bringing that water line up so you can really look down into it. We're going to have our fish tunnel somewhere in this area, so we'll be rocking that in and kind of making a little tier out of that. Always paying attention to our wide areas, making sure we're not choking in too much where our narrow spot is for us to do our fish tunnel there. Then we'll figure out where we'll put a couple of lily pockets. We'll have 3 on this one. And tomorrow we'll get to play with boulders and having some fun with that. So that's what we're up to. Good morning, everybody. So we are going after the excavating, getting this in a real good spot. Guys are just looking for threats to the liner, making sure that we get any rocks removed or anything to that effect. All right, we've got the liner in. That means that it is time to start placing some boulders. But before that happens right now, Justin's working on something that we're trying out for the first time. Good idea he had is to find our water line, and then we're gonna go around and spray out some spots on our liner just to give us a reference point of where that water line is. So when we're placing our boulders and we're building up, we know that we have to get at least higher than that to make sure that we're really where we wanna be with that water line. Also, that's going to help us kind of make some cool decisions on where to put some cool rocks and some character rocks. Like to see some things maybe stick up out of the water as like an island rock for some turtles. So yeah, that's what we're up to now. They got the liner in, just running boulders, and it is time to start running those boulders into straps and then strapping those boulders into the pond. Well, it's been an awesome day 2 here on part number 1 on our project, working here with Hannah up in northern Minnesota. Man, what a fun project this has been. We have been really getting a lot done, having a good time, making new friends. It is so much fun. Really love that. There's so many cool things about this career. We got a lot done today. Brad got the faceplate hooked up onto the skimmer, and that's a pretty big deal. He got that done today. Got tons of rock placed where we want. The fish tunnel is in there. Can you even tell? The fish tunnel's behind those boulders. It's a corrugated pipe that goes all the way through with openings on each side so the fish can hide from predators. Got a really huge boulder that goes straight to the deep end over there. Got some cool rock work coming out over here. We're gonna start making our waterfall transition its way up over there. But that's gonna do it for the night. Hey, good morning, everyone. It's the start of day 3 here on Hannah's project. We're in the greater northern Minnesota area, and we are having a lot of fun. Last night was just a fantastic night. We were able to sit around enjoying some pizza together, some nice cold beverages. Hannah she's just been a gracious and kind host. It's been just an awesome experience, and we played a really fun game together. So we had tons of laughter going on. We had fun. So with that being said, there's a lot more hard work ahead of us today, but it's going to be a labor of love. We get to do some really fun stuff today. The main thing is we really want to try and get this pond filled in, graveled in, rocked. So like I said, we got a lot of boulders to place today. We got them all in the backyard. We brought dirt in this morning. Got an awesome delivery of that. So it's going to be a fun day. We're going to end the day by turning on the garden hose, I think, and leaving it filling. That's the goal. All right, that's it. Thank you. Time to get to work. Sun is shining. The guys are working away. Brad is working on detail stuff. Aiden is shoring up this rock, fixing a little hole he found. Wasn't even that big of a hole. We've got a cool little rock to come walk right down onto, sit on right here, dangle her feet in the water, and this rock right here is going to be a nice spot to set your hair and rest on. Check that spot out. That's the water level, so that's going to be a really cool spot for feeding the fish. Because it is a nice deep spot. So the fish feel more comfortable coming up, eating out of your hand if they know that there's a place they can retreat and run away. So nice deep spot, great spot to feed the fish on a cool little peninsula. Yeah, and so things are going great. How do you feel?
Can you repeat what you just said?
Like word for word?
No. I want to know what you said.
This is one of my favorite jobs. Like, we really get to start seeing some of the cool characteristics of these boulders. Um, they've been covered in dirt. Like, this guy was really covered in dirt. You didn't get to see this really cool blue vein through it with the red on each side. This guy, you shouldn't tell, had much of the striping on it. That looks really cool. We're going to have a little lily right here, so it's going to be really cool. The lily's going to kind of grow up and take over a little of this area, but the fish will swim back and forth over in this area between the lily and really feel comfortable coming up to you. So it's going to be a really fun spot to sit, simulating that effect. So some really beautiful boulders in here. And that's going to do it for the end of part 1. Thanks for joining us. Make sure to tune in next week for part 2, where we're putting together the rest of the waterfall. We're doing a wetland filter, and then we get to bring this to light. And we get to say, well, we'll probably turn it over to Hannah for the check this out part. That'll be kind of fun. So thank you for watching. Keep watching, because the reveal is going to be really cool. We're going to put their fish back in. You're going to put lilies in. We're going to put some water plants in. We're going to do a wetland filter with a waterfall. That's going to be facing their bedrooms. And all these things are going to be showcased next week. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and tune in next week, because it's going to be pretty cool.
Tell me what you're doing to my yard.
I would be happy to tell you. That's actually all right.
He doesn't actually talk like this in person.